Have you ever heard of the phrase, a bump in the night? Have you ever let your imagination get the better of you? Well, a small town in the UK done this very thing. The name of the town was called Hammersmith. The infamous Hammersmith ghost. Let's step back in the early 19th century London, where things were a tad more spectacular and a lot less Wi-Fi. Gather round, my fellow historians, for a tale of apparitions, mistaken identity, and a trigger-happy officer. The Hammersmith ghost murder case of 1804. Picture it. It's winter. Wars are raging, and Hammersmith, a quaint village on the outskirts of London, is buzzing with rumors. Villagers are whispering about a ghostly figure that's not content with merely floating around. No. This spectator has taken up a side gig as a supernatural menace. The ghostly encounter. From November of 1803 onward, folks in Hammersmith started seeing things, specifically a tall, white-cladded apparition. Local legend had it that this ghost was the restless spirit of a suicide victim buried in Hammersmith churchyard. Now, back when, the prevailing belief was that suicide victims not be laid to rest on hollow ground because their soul wouldn't find eternal peace. So standard ghost protocol. The ghost wasn't content with just spooking people. It decided to get hands-on. Two unfortunate women, one elderly and the other one pregnant, were allegedly seized by the ghost while strolling near the churchyard. They were terrified, and they both killed over from shock a few days later. And then was Thomas Groom, a brewer servant. One night, he and his companion were minding their own business near a tombstone, and something rose up and grabbed him by the throat. His buddy turned around just in time to witness the ghostly scuffle. Groom described it as feeling soft like a great coat. Clearly, this ghost needed a hobby other than haunting. Enter Francis Smith. Now let's meet our trigger-happy hero, Francis Smith, a 29-year-old officer armed with a shotgun. He was part of the Citizens Patrol formed to catch the exclusive ghost. On January the 3rd of 1804, while doing his rounds, Smith encountered the specter at the corner of Beaver Lane. The ghostly figure was probably just minding its own business, contemplating the afterlife, while Smith mistook it for trouble. In a classic care of, oops, my bad, Smith shot the poor ghost, but here's the twist. The ghost wasn't a ghost at all. It was Thomas Millwood, a bricklayer who happened to be wearing white clothes, probably for his work. Mistaken identity meets shotgun justice. The legal fallout. Smith's actions set off a legal firestorm. He was found guilty of murder and sentenced to death. However, the courts later showed some mercy and commuted his sentence to 1 year of hard labor. Still, the case left lingering questions. Could you be held liable for your actions even if they stemmed from a mistaken belief? It took a whopping 180 years for the Court of Appeal to finally settle this issue in 1984. Better late than never, right? So, my dear friends, that's the tale of the Hammersmith ghost. A cautionary reminder to double check your target before pulling the trigger, especially if they're prone to disappearing in a puff of egoplasm.